They thought they could throw thorns in your path and watch you bleed. But life, my dear chosen ones, has a balance far sharper than any sword. In a universe stitched together by unseen laws, those who dig pits for others inevitably stumble into them themselves. Fate is not blind. It simply waits for the perfect moment to tip the scales. Every whisper against you, every unseen sabotage, every dagger disguised as kindness, they all became bricks in the road that now carries you higher than their envy could ever reach. Critics watch you, hoping for cracks to appear, but they forget. The universe does not play favorites. It plays fair. The storms they summoned for you are the very storms that drown them in their own bitterness. You became the quiet force they can't predict, the calm before a success they can't comprehend. Your growth is not random. It's the universe aligning in your favor, stretching reality itself to make room for your rise. The seeds of betrayal they planted only bloomed into gardens you now own. Your power haunts them. It gnaws at their illusions, not because you try to intimidate them, but because you exist as living proof that no amount of deceit can derail what is destined to ascend. And this is just the beginning. Imagine a future so powerful, so untouchable, that even the darkest plots dissolve at your feet. If you're feeling the weight of unseen battles and silent victories, understand, this is no accident. These things don't happen to just anybody. Only the chosen ones walk a path so fierce that others can't even comprehend it. Stay with me until the end, because what's unfolding isn't just your story. It's the rise the world was never ready for. Number 1. Stop reflecting their comfort zones. Stay the mirror that forces growth. You didn't just survive the fire, you became the architect of it. Every scar, every silent battle, every night you stood alone while the world celebrated illusions, you turned it all into the calm power you now carry without speaking a word. You don't need to announce your strength. You are the announcement. Just your existence sends ripples through spaces built on comfort and compromise. You're not here to blend in or take sides. You are the shift itself, the silent rewriter of the rules they thought were permanent. Understand this, chosen one. You are not avoided because you are too much. You are avoided because you are too real. Your presence is a living mirror, and when people come near you, they don't just see you, they're forced to see themselves. They catch a glimpse of every discipline they abandoned, every dream they sold for cheap applause, every part of themselves they left to decay while you chose to rise. You don't have to expose them. They expose themselves, standing next to the evidence of everything they were too afraid to become. It's not your aggression that shakes them, it's your authenticity. It's not your ambition that unsettles them, it's your unwavering clarity. In a world built on blurred lines and half-truths, you walk like a blade forged in honesty. They've spent so long performing that your rawness feels violent to their illusions. You remind them of what they gave up without mercy, and that is something no amount of pretending can soften. They'll label you too cold, too intense, too serious. They'll find any excuse to make their discomfort your fault. But don't be fooled. Their fear is not about you. It's about what you make them confront. The hollowness behind their staged smiles. The forgotten battles they surrendered without a fight. You are not alone because you are misunderstood. You are alone because you are ahead. You stand at a higher ground they abandoned long before they realized they needed it. You walk with the storm inside you, but your steps are steady, deliberate, designed by every hardship you didn't run from. And every room you enter, the ground remembers. Every gaze you meet, the truth stirs. Every critic that speaks against you only strengthens the undeniable law. Those who tried to bury you didn't know you were a seed crafted by something far greater than their understanding. Stay sharp, chosen one. Your very existence rewrites the field, whether they accept it or not. Number 2. Don't let their silence fool you. It's their own regret echoing back. Their silence around you isn't peace, it's pressure they can't escape. Chosen one, don't be deceived when the conversations go cold, when the glances get shorter, when the room feels heavier the moment you step into it. Their silence is not a wall. They're not protecting themselves from you. They're drowning in their own reflection, realizing just how far they've fallen from the greatness they once claimed to chase. You don't have to raise your voice. Your existence alone forces them to hear every excuse they've ever told themselves, echoing back louder than any words you could say. Being near you is like standing too close to a fire they can't control. They feel their distractions melting, their illusions cracking, their comfort zones collapsing. That's why they go quiet, not out of respect, not out of admiration, but because the guilt, the regret, the lost ambition inside them screams louder than anything you could ever point out. You don't even have to confront them. You already have. Every time you move with discipline, every time you carry yourself with clarity, you expose the shortcuts they thought no one would notice. That's why your silence is so loud to them. It magnifies their smallness, their compromises, their slow betrayal of their own potential. Remember this: silence in your presence is not absence of words. It's a confession they can't even articulate. You didn't intimidate them. They betrayed themselves long before they met you. And when you walk forward without lowering your energy, without watering yourself down, you remind them exactly what they abandoned. Their regret will always echo louder than your voice. Let it. Number 3. Refuse to bow to broken systems. Your freedom will break their illusion. Chosen one, you were never built to fit into broken systems that thrive on control, manipulation, and silent compliance. You were crafted to expose them. Every move you make, every choice to walk away instead of conform, chips away at the illusion they so desperately cling to. Systems don't fear noise, they fear clarity, and your existence is pure, undeniable clarity walking among the fog. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to start wars. Just by refusing to kneel, by daring to live by your own code, you fracture the fragile walls they've built around themselves. They sense it the moment you enter a room. You are not chained to approval. You are not desperate for validation. You are free in a way they can't understand, and that terrifies them. Most people live trapped inside invisible cages built from expectations and fears. You, chosen one, burned yours to the ground. You walk with the kind of calm rebellion that cannot be bought, bribed, or broken. And because they can't predict you, they can't control you. You've become the proof that freedom is possible. And for them, that realization is more dangerous than any battle they could fight. Remember, every time you stay true to yourself, you aren't just protecting your own soul. You're shaking entire foundations. You weren't sent here to patch up broken games. You were born to create a whole new world. Let their illusions crack. Let the weak systems tremble. You are the storm they never prepared for. Number 4. Quit building circles. Start creating worlds. Only the loyal can enter. Stop wasting your energy trying to fit into circles that were never designed to hold your weight. You weren't meant to build cliques, alliances, or fragile groups stitched together by convenience. You were built to create worlds, worlds so real, so demanding, that only those willing to evolve can survive inside them. Chosen ones don't gather crowds, they ignite awakenings. They don't entertain followers, they forge legacies. When you step into your power, you stop offering comfort and start offering transformation. And not everyone can handle that. People who stay close to you won't be the ones who cling to ease. They'll be the ones willing to tear down who they were to meet who they're meant to become. You don't inspire loyalty by being liked. You inspire loyalty by being unforgettable, undeniable, and unshakable. You are not building spaces for people to sit comfortably and applaud each other's mediocrity. You're shaping realities where growth is non-negotiable, where masks fall off, where only the brave endure. Your presence demands elevation, not imitation. That's why your circle shrinks, but your empire expands. Those who couldn't rise were never meant to stay. Understand this. You are not here to make everyone feel at home. You are here to remind them what home really means. A chosen one doesn't blend into spaces. They redefine them. And the loyal ones, they don't just stick around. They rise with you. Number 5. Don't escape loneliness. Forge yourself into a fortress within it. Loneliness was never your curse. It was your classroom. While the world ran to fill the silence with noise, with distractions, with anyone who would keep them from facing themselves, you stood still. You didn't escape it. You let it carve into you. You let it expose every false need, every hollow craving, every fragile identity built on being seen rather than being solid. And in that raw silence, you became something untouchable. The ones who fear loneliness will never understand the power it gives. They see solitude as abandonment. You see it as assignment. In the spaces where others would have crumbled for attention, you built an empire inside your own soul. You turned the empty room into a forge. You turned silence into a weapon sharper than any tongue could wield. You didn't just survive without them, you transcended beyond them. Chosen one, understand this. Loneliness was never about being forgotten. It was about being preserved. You were hidden for a season so you could be revealed in power. You are not empty, you are fortified. You are not lacking. You are overflowing with a strength the unchosen will never comprehend. And now, when they look at you, they don't just see a person who walked through the valley alone. They see a force that doesn't flinch, doesn't beg, doesn't break. The fortress you built in solitude stands tall, silent, and immovable. They can't penetrate it. They can't fake it. They can't survive it. You are no longer reachable by the games that trap ordinary souls. You've outgrown the need for constant company. Your silence is your sovereignty. Your solitude is your strength. And that is why no one dares to mess with you. Number 6. Stop wasting strength on noise. Master precision that cuts through chaos. There's a quiet kind of power that leaves entire rooms breathless, and it doesn't come from noise. Chosen ones understand this. Those who make the most noise are often the ones who lack real fire inside. You, on the other hand, have been forged differently. Your strength doesn't roar, it slices. While others are busy scattering their energy to be seen and heard, you have mastered the rarest weapon of all, precision. You don't react to every move. You wait, you watch, you strike only when it truly matters, and when you do, it changes everything. The world around you thrives on chaos, distraction, and empty gestures. They expect you to exhaust yourself trying to keep up, but you were never built for their games. You were built to dismantle them. Every moment you withhold your energy, every time you choose stillness over senseless action, you sharpen yourself into something they cannot predict, and they fear what they can't predict. You don't waste arrows in the dark. You hit the target with a single glance. You move through noise like a blade through mist, silent, clean, undeniable. That is why no one dares to mess with you. They know you don't waste your power in petty battles. You reserve it for the one strike that matters most. Stay precise, stay dangerous. In a world lost in loud confusion, your focused silence is the deadliest storm. Number 7. Never reveal your full power. Let the unknown keep them on edge. The greatest weapon you carry, chosen one, is not the power you show. It's the power you withhold. Let them guess. Let them wonder. Let them lose sleep over the depth of what you haven't even revealed yet. You are a storm, quietly gathering force behind calm skies, and nothing unsettles a world built on illusions more than someone whose potential they cannot measure. You don't need to flex. You don't need to announce. Your restraint speaks louder than any declaration ever could. The truth is, they fear you not because of what you've already done, but because they feel what you are still capable of. They know you're moving through life with aces they'll never see until it's too late. That unknown is a pressure that weighs on them more than any visible success ever could. It's not about the battles you fought. It's about the wars you've already prepared for in silence while they celebrated temporary victories. You walk like a loaded future, heavy with possibilities they can't predict, control, or defeat. And that's why no one dares to mess with you. You've mastered the art of letting the fear of the unseen do the work for you. You don't just haunt their present, you dominate their imagination about what you could unleash if you ever decided to go all in. Remember, your silence holds more chaos than their loudest noise could ever create. Stay unpredictable. Stay limitless. Number 8. Stop chasing approval. Own the fire that comes with being misunderstood. Chosen one, the day you stopped begging for approval was the day you became unstoppable. You see, the world was never built to understand you. It was built to tame you. They wanted you to shrink, to soften, to second-guess your every move, so you would need their validation like oxygen. But you burned that need at the root, and in doing so, you awakened something they can neither name nor kill, the fire of being misunderstood and standing tall anyway. You were never meant to be easily digested. You were meant to be the wildfire that unsettles every shallow foundation. Their misunderstanding is not your burden to fix. It's the proof that you've broken free. Those who once whispered that you were too much, too different, too intense, now stay silent because deep down they know. You walked through fires they wouldn't even dare light a match near. They cling to the need to be liked, but you carry the weight of someone who made peace with being the villain in stories you outgrew. And nothing terrifies people more than someone who doesn't flinch when they lose approval, because that's when you become truly dangerous. You don't need their applause. You are your own thunder, your own proof, your own revolution. And believe me, chosen one, when you fully own that fire, no one dares to come too close. They feel the heat, even when you say nothing. They sense the storm, even when you stand still. You are not alone. You are simply operating on a level too rare for the masses to ever comprehend. Number 9. Refuse to fear rejection. Turn every no into your next level. Rejection was never meant to end you. It was designed to refine you. Every no you ever heard wasn't a closed door. It was a sharpening stone, carving away anything weak, anything small, anything that didn't belong to your destiny. Chosen ones are not here to be handed approval on silver platters. You are built differently. Every rejection you faced was the universe's way of saying, not here, not yet. Bigger things are coming. While others crumble when they're told they're not enough, you forge new paths with every dismissal. When they slammed the door in your face, they didn't realize they were building the walls you would later stand on to see farther than they ever could. Rejection was never your enemy. It was the hidden architect of your future strength. Understand this. They didn't say no because you lacked something. They said no because they couldn't contain what you're about to become. The same people who turned their backs will eventually watch you rise to levels they can't even pronounce. Their denial became your discipline. Their silence became your strategy. You don't fear rejection, you absorb it. You let it fuel a fire that polite acceptance could never have sparked. Every no is just the universe rerouting you to the arenas where your power can't be ignored. Chosen one, you were never meant to fit into every room. You were meant to build new ones where no one dares to question your worth. Number 10. Don't perform on their stages. Build a world too big for their applause. Chosen one, you were never meant to perform for a crowd that barely even understands the language of your soul. Let them chase applause. You were born to build empires that don't require an audience. While they rehearse for approval, you construct a life so massive, so magnetic, that it pulls reality itself into your orbit. You don't belong under their spotlight. You are the storm that bends the lights themselves. Understand this. Performing on their stages would only shrink you into a character they find comfortable. And you were never built for comfort. You were built for conquest. Every room you enter is not a place to be accepted. It's a blueprint to be rewritten under your name. You don't chase stages. You create worlds so powerful that the old stages crumble trying to contain you. They measure worth by claps and cheers. You measure it by the silent weight of what you've transformed. They are playing for recognition. You are moving in silence, expanding a legacy they'll never be able to touch, no matter how loudly they scream. They think applause is the prize. You know freedom is. This is why no one dares to mess with you. They sense it, this raw, self-made kingdom rising behind your every step. You no longer move for validation. You move because the universe itself shifts to make room for your next evolution. And those still performing for scraps will forever fear the one who builds without asking for permission. Number 11. Silence the need to prove. Let quiet confidence shatter their illusions. You don't owe the world explanations, chosen one. Let them wonder. Let them sit in the silence you've mastered. A silence so dense it suffocates their shallow assumptions. You never needed to raise your voice or put your victories on display, because your energy alone bends the atmosphere. Those who move with noise are still begging for recognition. But your presence shatters illusions without a single word. The loud ones, the ones desperate to be seen, cannot understand the terrifying power of someone who no longer needs to prove a thing. Their world revolves around validation. Yours revolves around certainty. And that's what haunts them. You're certain of who you are, what you carry, and what you're destined to become. You don't disrupt the room by demanding attention. You disrupt it by existing as undeniable evidence that evolution is silent, and mastery doesn't need a spotlight. They scramble to understand it. They search for cracks, because they can't accept that true power can be this still, this composed, this lethal, without ever shouting. Every time you refuse to explain, every time you stay calm in the face of provocation, you're reminding them of what they lack: internal gravity. The kind of gravity only the chosen carry, the kind no enemy, no rumor, no betrayal can shake. Let them be uncomfortable. Let your quietness speak louder than their noise ever could, because when the real ones walk into the room, they don't announce it. The room already knows. Number 12. Stop believing comfort is safety. Walk the fire that others fear to enter. Comfort is the lie they sell to keep you small, chosen one. It whispers sweet nothings to your ambition, seduces your hunger into settling, and masks its chains as peace. But you were never built for cages, even if they come padded in silk. Every time you chose discomfort over safety, every time you walked through the fire instead of sitting by the ashes, you separated yourself from those still begging for permission to live. Understand, comfort has never been your friend. It was designed to dull your instincts, to numb the call for more that burns inside you. They stayed where it was safe. You moved where it was necessary. That's why no one dares to mess with you now. Because deep down, they sense you've survived storms they're too afraid to even enter. They feel it in your silence, in your eyes, in the weight of your steps. You didn't just pass through the fire, you became it. And those who watch you, those who mock from the sidelines, they aren't laughing because they're stronger, they're laughing because they're scared. They chose smallness, and you chose the path that demanded blood, sweat, and evolution. They don't fear your success. They fear what your success reminds them about their own surrender. So stop doubting the road that aches. Stop mistaking friction for failure. Chosen ones are meant to walk fires that others can't even breathe in. You are not alone. You are just ahead. Keep moving through the flame. That's where empires are born. The road you walk isn't supposed to feel easy. That's how you know it's the path only the chosen can endure. Every fire you face, every silence you survive, is carving out a future no ordinary person could ever claim. Remember, you're not losing your way. You're shedding old worlds that can't carry your power. Stay sharp, stay real, stay unstoppable. And if you feel that fire rising inside you, you already know you're not alone. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in with the force that refuses to be broken. Your rise is just beginning. NCA.